lands on the furthest.
Sorry about this. I think Terence is right, it probably is a broken cable.
There's a cable, yeah. I mean,
That was the train jam.
it was very rare on the real airplane that you wouldn't use the mechanical system because you always did it electrically.
Yeah.
And the mechanical system was a backup. And I think what we're doing now is we're using the mechanical system as the front line.
I'm off now, Terry.
Okay,
So,
safe journey, John. Yeah, God bless. Did you see our man's? The seat is sliding up and down, unfortunately. The little bit. Do you remember there used to be a little pin used to go in?
Yes, yes.
And we can't get that to work. So when poor Dave put his feet on the brakes, we were about to go into the water and the seat dropped backwards.
Shove the seat back in. Yeah. Oh well.
John, you get on your way.
All the pressure. Thanks very much. Okay. Yes.
Enjoy your 21st of January celebration. Bit of checklist. I forgot Don was there still. Yeah. Floor landing lights, transponders on, wheel lighters off. That means no brake is above 400 degrees centigrade. Master warning, recall, been inhibited. That's so that we can cancel all the master warnings except these 7. And if any one of those 7 came on before V1, we would seriously consider stopping. But if anything odd like that came on, we wouldn't worry. Yeah. So it's just to try and reduce the risk of an unintended rejection. Because it's going to wreck tyres. That means you're going to have to do an evacuation. And when you evacuate an aeroplane this size, people will injure themselves. So every rejected takeoff from high speed was almost certainly going to result in some personal injury. Not to the pilots, but to the passengers. So you didn't do it unless you really had to. It was generally safer to go than to stop. The tickle monitor is armed. That gives you an extra 2.5% of thrust if one of the engines fails. Really easy can go on these, James. There's that little lever there, that's right. Yeah, so and the contingency can be selected artificially that way. Or it comes on automatically if you have engine failure above a certain speed with this takeoff monitor. And there's the readings on. Pitch index, can you set 17 degrees? That fella there. No, that one there. Oh, that's the triple. Set there's 15, 16. And that's the initial rotation attitude, right? Once saw it 35 degrees. 25? We were going from Heathrow to Gatwick. I wasn't flying it, I wish I had. We were going from Heathrow to Gatwick, they flew us to Gatwick at 4,000 feet, no passengers, just positioning down to go for a trip to Bermuda. And the skipper was determined to get 4,000 feet before he crossed the end of the runway at Heathrow. We did, leveled at 4,000 feet, but we climbed at 35 degrees nose up. It was absolutely bloody stunning. But it was very, very light. It was quite safe, it was just unusual. I saw 33 degrees in the 737 once. Pitch index, radar, brake pads, gear override, push button. Before takeoff check is complete. Electric hat on, please. Speedbird, Concorde 1 is ready for departure. Speedbird, Concorde 1 for takeoff. Okay, release the brakes for you. You have control. Perfect. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Now. And there, that's it. Look at the very far end of the runway. Use rudder if you need it done for work. Accelerating, and that's speed building both sides, 100 knots power set. V1. Rotate. Second is good. That's perfect. V2. Up.
real high climb rate.
And we used to go up at 7,000 to 8,000 feet a minute sometimes. This thing here goes off the clock at 6,000, and then it comes up in a digital display of thousands of feet a minute. This thing here stops at 6.
Yeah.
On to go. Be ready to blow the nose. Be ready. In fact, if you'd said that a bit earlier, probably down to about 6, 7 degrees. If you'd said that a little bit earlier, I would have pulled it up and showed you. Never mind. No, we used to get on lightweight takeoffs out of Heathrow, you can get 8,000-9,000 feet a minute.
Wow.
It used to catch the Americans out, because the Americans would underestimate your climbing rate, which they get all the basic clearances wrong, and they would clear you up to a certain height based on the assumption you're going to climb at about 2,000 feet a minute.
Yeah.
And suddenly you'd arrive at one to go. A bit earlier than they expected. They have something like a Hercules, there'd always be a Charlie 130 at 170, because they do transitions at 18,000. In fact, at last I hear there's a risk that we might get that in Britain or in Europe. I was pushing for it years ago when I was in the operating standards group. Keep the right turn on all the way around to about 270. So it was when the Americans started coming to Europe, there were sorts of problems with them misunderstanding transition and expecting it to be What did you do in your first session?
Heathrow circuit, yeah. It's very smooth to fly. Is that what it was like in the room?
Yes. At this angle of attack, it would burble very slightly as though you had flaps down, because the angle of attack it would really be about 7 or 8 degrees. The angle of attack is not quite true at 250 knots here. You would feel a very slight burble, which was the vortices breaking off the leading edge of the wing. Once you drop the angle of attack below 7, it was as smooth as silk, and you could fly it hands off at any speed. You could fly it hands off through the transonic, through the sound barrier.
Keep going.
Let's check that.
Oh yeah, contact.
Yeah. You could actually fly it hands off through the sound barrier. Mark 0.95 used to put 4 reheats back on, and never the wing man suggested that a little bit too low the ride before. When you put the reheats on, the nose tends to lift slightly because the engines are under the wing, so when you put thrust on, the nose tends to go up. When you close the throttles, the nose tends to drop. If you just ran a couple of leaps on the switch there to make up for the extra nose up attitude generated by nose up thrust couple generated by the reheat, you could then take your hands off the stick and it would go through Mach 1 without anybody touching it.
Wow.
And all you do is you see the instruments pick up and down as the first pressure wave, as the first shock wave goes past the static vents, which are down at the front door, down at the forward door when you come in. But at any time, at Mark 2 it was rock steady and quite heavy controls at Mark 2. So, a stewardess could fly it at Mark 2 because it was as stable as it was, because of its inertia, it's half mv squared. So at 1200 knots, v squared 1200 knots is an enormous amount of force, whereas at 150 knots, v squared is very little. So the inertia at Mark 2 was just unbelievable. And the thing was rock steady. But at low speed, it was extremely neutrally stable, which meant that you had to fly it all the time because pitch, in particular pitch, was extraordinarily sensitive, not as though this is now. Such that, and roll, it was almost neutrally stable in yaw and roll, which meant that you had to keep your eye on the bank all the time. So if you banked 1 degree, it would start to turn. You got very good at flying with the wings absolutely level, because otherwise the airplane would wander. And in fact, when you came out of a heading, you had to stop the turn about 5 degrees early, because the airplane would wander round with its 180 odd ton inertia. And so near the ground, there was no point in moving this thing near the ground because it was going where it was pointing.
Yeah.
The airplane would go a bit like a jumbo, really. It had so much inertia, it would go where it was pointing. And so near the ground, it was important that you were pointing in the direction you wanted to land. Not necessarily in line with the runway, but you wanted to be actually pointing in the way you wanted to stop. Because when you landed, it was going to carry on in that direction. If that took you off the runway, then there was not much you could do about it. But if you turned your head towards the flight engineer's station on finals, by the time you turned your head forwards, the runway would have disappeared slightly, it would have wandered. Whereas on a jumbo, you could get out of the seat and go down the back and come over. You're still reporting at the runway because it's extremely stable. We could do a right turn onto 04. Get started right. What we would do is that should to set the localizer for us. Just keep the right turn on. Yeah, keep the right turn on. Always pretty promising. I'm not looking down a bit. And when you get the glide path, just go down with it. You'll see a glide path appear there. Good man. Well, in fact, we're slightly above it, so pop the nose down, and I'll put the wheels in. So just ease it down the glide. At this stage, we'll probably be doing 10 miles an hour, maybe a bit more. What we're trying to do by not reducing the speed too soon is to reduce the fuel burn. In our case, not just for environmental reasons, haven't got very much. So we got a bit more of a turn. Just going through the localizer, so I'll have to rate it back. Not the problem.
Just like the glass.
It's just impossible to
ride and follow well. Yeah, I live in Dawn.
Keeping the speed up as long as you could, because you make less noise, but also because you don't want this fuel. Unfortunately, as I'm sure you know only too well, to catch up everybody else, and so they would have to be sure what we were doing, eating the rest of the in New York in particular, they would make the speed you must fly. They always nice to get you behind, but the rest of the 30 or short swings is actually
Keep the right turn on, Mister.
Just a little bit, going on about 120.
Yeah.
The general rule of thumb with these things is to set the heading to the top of that rubber line. That's it. When you do restaurant flight training, that would be the sort of thing that said, if you put your heading there, and as that moves in, turn with it. It's very special thrust. Just like you make fun for your objective flight. That's the point slow rising. So if that moves round, you have to turn back. It looks promising.
Just got the glide coming in.
Okay,
that's the
ease it down on the glide there, keep the turn on. That's it. PA034 we used to get in the logbook. It's a bit too low, a bit too much already. So see how much is it to it. Pop it back to around 1,000, 170 knots. Still there, you'll need 800 knots. 850 a second. That's it. Good. Checkerboard is thicker than this one. Slightly below the reduced 20%, very slightly. Trim it if necessary, make sure you're in trim. Speed set, all the checks are done. As we did, then don't find the cheat bit, go slightly left on the checkerboard, it'll give you just a little bit further to run on cars. Okay? That's it. See the checkerboard? Yeah. Was literally a checkerboard or a couple of checkerboards lit by a searchlight. That's it. 1 and a bit miles to go to the turn. And you can probably see the strobe lights beginning to light up. And don't forget, you can see it on YouTube. You can see me actually doing it for real on YouTube. About 500,000 people have seen that. I think 400,000 people have watched it. Half a mile to go. 0.2 miles to go. Turn now. Just go to the can. Keep an eye on the patties as they come in. All white at the moment. One red now. That's good. That's good. That's good. Keep the turn on. Good. Don't let the nose drop too much. These on. Nose will tend to drop the turn. That's it. worry about being through the centre line, that's inevitable with this speed. 200 feet. 100 feet. Just point down the line. 50, 40, 30, 20. Don't flare anymore. Has to be a stoplight in control that make a difference. I'm actually going to go back. No, the nose, we'll find out. That's it. Pop it into reverse. That's it. Put the foot on the brake when you get there. You've got 1,000 metres to go.
Good photograph of this.
Your seat does not slip back because somebody's helping you.
Thank you.
Well done. Very, very good. Very well flown. First class.
Thank you very
First
much.
class.
Thank you.
Sleep
Both of you do a bit of this near the ground. It achieves absolutely nothing. Because you're in ground effect and there's so much strong ground effect that the wings are going to be level anyway.
Yeah.
It's difficult to land this aeroplane one wheel first, unlike a conventional aeroplane. What you must do though is get the nose straight, because if you don't get your nose straight down the runway, it's like landing a sack of potatoes, because the back end of the aeroplane is so far behind, the aeroplane immediately yaws level, yaws straight. The moment you touch down with yaw on, it yaws level, it yaws straight, and the people in the front go, what? Like that. Jesus, what's hit us? And all you've done is land with a bit of drift on. But you can't get the wings to go down because the wings are so short and stubby and there's such ground effect that it levels the wings for you. It's a brilliant machine in that respect.